stunning.
Thanks,
so
Conan.
gorgeous.
You do
Thank
too.
you.
I like how you've mixed your stripes and your plaids.
Again, I've said it all the time. I don't do any of this. I'm like a child that's dressed for school. We have an amazing guy, Bruce Brummage. I wouldn't have the confidence to put stripes. I don't know what I'm doing.
I just like thinking of you being dressed by another man named Bruce.
You're free to watch anytime.
Really? May I?
It's very erotic.
Sounds erotic.
It really isn't. It's the least erotic thing you can imagine. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
You do look gorgeous. And, you know, I see you around. I've seen you around Los Angeles.
Sure.
You work here in Los Angeles. You shoot your show here in Los Angeles. But you were shooting this movie in New York City.
Yes.
Was that okay? I mean, it's
Yes.
quite a different environment to shoot in.
It is. I love shooting in New York City. You see all kinds of stuff, all kinds of crazy stuff.
Right.
Because in LA, I don't know, I feel like in Los Angeles people are more used to it maybe, so they stay out of your way. Whereas in New York, you just feel like you're in everybody else's way.
Yes.
All the time.
Well, it's in LA, it's like, oh, that's a movie, and it's an industry town, and
Sure.
everyone's so savvy. Oh, they're going for the wide shot. I better go around this way.
Exactly.
But when you're in New York, it's an oddity. If
Yes.
you're making a movie, it's like, wow, they're making a movie.
Completely, and I totally understand it. We are in everybody's way. We're throwing a wrench into everybody's day. So we were shooting this movie, a bit of it in Chinatown. So I was in Chinatown, waiting around, a bit bored, because you're always bored when you're shooting a movie and you're always waiting around doing nothing. So I was on the phone, and all of a sudden I hear this guy like screaming at me in Mandarin or Cantonese. I don't know. I don't speak either of those
You really
languages.
should know the difference.
I should know. I do
How
know.
insensitive of you not to know the difference between Cantonese and Mandarin.
I do know that the man was definitely Chinese, and it was not English when he was yelling at me.
And he's yelling at you. Why was he yelling at you?
Well, I wasn't sure at first, so I began yelling back, as one does.
Yeah.
And then I realized that he was yelling at me based on his hand gestures because I was standing in the doorway of his restaurant, loitering.
Yes.
Not cool.
Right.
So I apologized. I backed off. I went to my trailer. About an hour later, still waiting around, still doing nothing, but this time I'm kind of staying close to home so I don't piss anybody else off.
Yeah.
And I see this guy, the same guy, the yelling guy, in this park across the street from where my trailer is.
Right.
And he's with his friends, and they're having a nice time. They're all giggling. He clearly likes these people way more than he liked me. And
he's with his friends. He's hanging in the park.
yeah,
It's
he's
all
having
good.
a nice time. We're in Chinatown. But it was also the summer, very hot, very muggy, very smelly, and garbage day.
Yeah.
Again, in Chinatown.
Sure.
So the streets are littered with big garbage bags full of what I assume is old Chinese food, just baking in the sun.
Sure.
Which is the other thing that I kind of marvel about in New York, which are the rats, the size and the population of the rats.
Yeah, you almost get used to it. I lived in New York a long time, and you just see these massive rats.
I do not get used to it. They come right at you. They come right at you. It's like the natural order is all screwed up. You have to avoid the rats instead of the rats avoiding you. So out of the corner of my eye, I see the biggest rat I've ever, bigger than you, Aziz.
Wow, that's a big rat.
A massive rat.
The biggest rat you've ever seen, and it runs right towards this guy who was yelling at me. And it doesn't stop or change directions. It runs up.
What?
Up the man.
The man who was yelling at you, it ran up his chest?
To his chest and by his face. And he's trying to get rid of the rat, and he finally launches it off of him. It was like a waking nightmare. It was horrible. It went like for his throat. And the really strange part about it was that his friends and this guy, his reaction was to kind of laugh it off. Like it was no big deal. Like it was a pretty positive reaction to this.
He shoves the rat away, and then they go right back to chatting like, that was some rat that attacked me.
Exactly. And this is the guy that screamed at me for standing in his doorway And he's perfectly all right with a rat in his face. And so that was my New York moment.
I would take that very personally.
Well, yeah.
That you were like, get out! Get out!
Exactly.
Ah, rat, come to me!
Yeah, he's a beautiful man who thought I was a million times more disgusting than a rat.
You know what's crazy? That Asian guy
Yeah.
was actually Fisher Stevens preparing for
Preparing for his next role. He's very good. Now, your Masters of Sex co-star, Michael Sheen, love that guy.
Do you?
I do love him. He can dress me any day.
Yeah.
Wow. Anyway, he was here on the show, and he said, lovely guy, very witty, and he was talking about your friendship, and he said that he gave you a sausage maker for your birthday. And I thought, is that one of those stories that he made up? Because it was a great story about how he gave you a sausage maker. And I thought maybe that he just said that because he was on a talk show, or did he really do that?
Did Bruce, your dresser, ever get you a sausage maker?
In a way.
Yeah, right? No,
So this is so stupid. No, he did not.
well, maybe this year Christmas is
Yeah.
right around the
Oh, you
corner.
never know.
Yes, I enjoy a sausage, a tubed meat of any kind. Mm-hmm. Sort of my favorite food. And so Michael one year bought me a beautiful sausage maker so I can grind my own meats.
I wouldn't. Okay, but I wouldn't even know like how.
No, you got it. That's all you have to know.
All you do is crank it, but I wouldn't even know what goes
You
in.
can put anything in it.
Apparently you can.
Yeah, anything you want, you can turn into a sausage.
Have you made your own sausages?
No, it's disgusting.
Now I feel better. That just seems like a
cleanup.
weird, but you really do. Like, it's well known that you enjoy sausages.
Yes, in fact, this year on my birthday, Michael Sheen got me a singing telegram of people dressed in lederhosen to present me with sausages.
What?
Yeah, it's really easy. It's nice when you know what the person likes. You
Right.
know?
And so these people come in, they're dressed in lederhosen.
Yeah.
It's almost like that's the only thing you like is sausage. You know, you have other interests, I'm sure, but
I don't.
He's just fixated on sausage.
Conan, I wish I did. I have no hobbies or interests. I enjoy eating sausages.
Very nice. All right, I'll remember that. I'm just curious, so he got you that, and were they good? Were they delicious? Did he get them from a good
Yeah,
sausage
they were delicious.
manufacturer?
Of course. It was my birthday. He's going to give me low-rent sausages. Get real.
What an asinine question.
Yeah, I mean, I can't believe you even asked
I don't
that.
know. You can save money and get the bad sausage. No one knows.
You'll have to ask him, but as far as I could tell, they were some of the more delicious sausages I've ever enjoyed. Also, I think that one of the guys was in lederhosen and was clearly comfortable in this costume. The other one, I believe, is usually like a country western singing telegram guy, so he didn't know the moves as well. But he blew the horn, and he ran with it.
He did. He was a professional.
Yeah, I mean,
he was not comfortable being in lederhosen in German, but he went with it.
Exactly. I think if you're somebody who does singing telegram stuff, you just have to be ready at a moment's notice to just change your thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That guy deserves a lot of credit.
I agree.
He's a hero.
My hero.
God, it's easy to be your hero. We have a clip here from the movie The Night Before. Anything you can tell us to prepare us for this scene?
I believe this is when I run into the boys who are off on their Christmas Eve adventure, Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Anthony Mackie and Seth Rogen. And Seth Rogen is stoned because it's Seth Rogen and it's in a movie.
That explains a lot. That's all you need to know. Let's take a look at this clip from The Night Before.